Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn bottom right side as the blue Chinese, we got YZY. Spawn left side as the not magenta but more of a hot pink Macedonian, we have Corvinus1. When it comes to map generation, got a small gold here and here, so hot pink does have access to a pair of gold deposits there. Blue has a gold deposit here, and another one relatively safe there, but not perfectly safe. Gold stone, stone. Nice mining resource there. Deer deposit behind. Deer deposit off the side. I think their map generations are pretty even, maybe ever so slightly better for the Macedonian player, but it's more splitting hairs at this point. If you disagree with me, that is perfectly fine. Just that you have to be executed. Either way, Tang Dynasty, of course. There's the Grand Winery being established. Where? But that's I'm the Chinese player. I'm melted today. The Grand Winery, of course, being next to the berry bushes out front. Grand Winery from Macedonians, of course, acts as a middle monastery, and villagers gather 30% food faster while against aura. So it's not like the Byzantine Grand Winery. Rexon's aside generates silver rather than gold. Sounds like a downgrade. I wonder if there's ever a point in time in history where silver is worth more than gold. Either way. Maybe better to put it next to the deer deposit. Oh well. It's not as strong as the Byzantine Grand Winery. But of course, early monastery, free monastery available, so once you immediately age up, you can immediately pull out some monks is always a good idea. The Imperial Hippodrome for the Macedonians seemed a little bit better to me. So we got some horsemen being pulled by the Chinese player. Are we going to see a Song Dynasty? He has enough. He's gold for a Song Dynasty. Maybe we are going to see a Song Dynasty. Either way, a horseman there. First and second horseman. We do. Oh, there's a secondary town center there. Very nice. And since the eco phase is starting to come to end and we've got a bit of combat here, let's slow down. We got a 5 set of villagers there, no outposts, hide them away. Drop off the gold and run. Another horseman advancing. Remember as well, destroying these mining camps is very important. Because once you destroy these mining camps, you can permanently deny the silver income when there's arsenal nearby. So these early raids is very important on relatively fragile structures, honestly. Looks like I think it's the first time I cast Macedonians with a new UI, or the updated UI, and has 2 layers of upgrades now, I just realized, including showing all 6. Very nice. I like how they are constantly improving the casting experience. They're doing a good job of both Age of Empires 4 and Age of Mythology. 3, of course, has basically been abandoned. And 2, of course, it has a paid DLC to get a proper casting stuff, which also, the version, whenever I view it, the free version, it reduces the quality, so you can't cast in 4K. It will reduce the textures of various things, such as stone. We do have the horseman here. It does receive a shot from the capital and from the secondary town center. We got a Varangian stronghold here, which of course needs to be upgraded for the arrow slit. Another Varangian stronghold here. Boom, boom. I do like the Chinese music, combat music. It reminds me of Pirates of the Caribbean. It has that deep string. I don't know what it's called. We do have some Macedonian archers and spearmen. I don't even try to pronounce some of these names. I mean, after all, they have a weird D. Who crosses their D? And looks like that horseman will go down. We'll take up the spearman. Archers, which before, they're Chinese archers, one of the rarest units you ever see of the Chinese. Though nowadays it feels like it's the Fire Lancers the rarest unit, not the Chinese archer. Tang Dynasty does improve scouts of vision. Nice early upgrade, but falls off important drastically quick. We do have Imperial examinations now being researched. Grand winery here. Let's switch over. The aura is quite small, so it looks like it reaches out to 2 farms. Remember, it also affects villagers on the farms itself, so having just partial leeching on some farms is not necessarily great. Probably will help to a certain degree, but the villagers do move around on top of the farms. We do have some more of these archers. They are slightly more expensive than normal archers, costing 90 resources and 80. They have the same damage, same bonus damage, same attack range, and all that sort. But in short, they do get access to a ability to reduce, to ignore 2 armor, which makes them a bit more, well, effective versus heavier units. And of course, have their runestone ability. Wait. What is... look at this. I highlight the ability. Bringing Berserk ability. Is that getting mixed up with the Berserk? The, Varangian Guard? So, but that's usually like a red text saying not available. Am I crazy? Is this ability bugged? Oh, we do have an arrow slit here, 2 arrow slits. Looks like a normal arrow slit attack range. Oh, we do have some silver inside these town centers. Put an arsenal nearby, you get a good amount of, well, silver generation. Town centers can be used as a silver drop-off point, so putting a town center next to a couple deposits wouldn't be half a bad idea, because it'd be far more durable than a mining camp. I suppose as a percentage income of the existing drop-off, so it wouldn't be too great. But either way, scouting a bit damage may go down there. There's actually a fair number of arrow slots. Oh, it must be a one-time global upgrade rather than an individual upgrade. Would be pretty cheap for that. Either way, we do have +1 range damage for the Macedonians. Does get some damage to some of those villagers, very nice. Oh, we do have some early Varangian Guard. And there's a Berserk, Varangian Berserk ability. Got some lances, of course. The Chinese players, of course, advanced to age 3. The Macedonian still age 2. Close to aging up, but the problem is he needs something to counter lancers, spearmen. He might want to apply a runestone here. He does apply a runestone. Up north, scout versus scout. I put my money on the scout. Yet somehow would lose that bet. I'm assuming... Oh, it is Imperial Palace from the astronomical clock tower, which does act like a lighthouse and allows you to use a spy ability to see where these villagers are. Very good if you want to raid these villagers. That's a big aspect of going for that landmark in H3 rather than the astronomical clock tower, which gives you a free siege workshop with +50% health when building units there. These guys are slowly getting whittled down. The Lancers have 5 range armor, so they resist a decent amount of damage, but not all the damage. Macedonians are pretty close to aging up. Oh, they did use the unwavering focus there. Very nice. No spear brace there. +1 range damage for the Chinese. +2 range armor. Golden Horn Tower now being established. Macedonian 1 course provides free crossbow, defensive building equipped for crossbow placements, and large line of sight. So his own lighthouse. Generate batches of crossbowmen for free over time. It was always very nice. Veteran archers here. A few times that the veteran Zunch News would have been great, but he's not even Song Dynasty, still Tang Dynasty. Remember as well, Song Dynasty does give a faster production of villagers, which is very nice to have. But that's another case. The Macedonian player right now is at 55 villagers thanks to secondary township, but Blue has called off a good number of them, 16 villagers, and more villagers being called now. Guard, the early ones have 2 range armor and 4 melee armor, so unusual armor mix compared to early mana arms. Huh. So the Varangian units can blow out transships like the Byzantines, but not the archers? Is that a bug there? Granted, when's the last time you ever seen transport ships? Even naval maps, you don't even see transport ships that often. Does unique spearmen have? Nope, can't build unique transport ships. I wonder if that's actually an oversight. Maybe that's a Byzantine transport ship rather than a Macedonian. Either way, +1 melee armor being researched, and plus veteran spearman. Good number of lancers here. There's the Varangian war camp, which we're going to give some replacements. Once enough troops are lost in battle, then select the Varangians or reinforce the battle at no cost. If placed on shore near water, can deploy out galleys. Attack ships with the arrow ship or galleys become available in reinforcements. So we can go for Springolds or range units or the arrow ship. Villagers being impaled. Bardic and the Sun being researched by the Chinese player, put in the Song Dynasty, which also not only put in the Song Dynasty, but also getting access to the granary, which is probably the most important. Honestly, Song Dynasty has a lot of important things for the Chinese. We do have the monk here, and now the spearman's advancing. Good damage on the villager. These guys do have 2 range armor, so you can ignore it with the unwavering focus. Unwavering focus is activated, very nice. Of course, does reduce movement speed, so he's no longer able to run away effectively. I suppose he's not running, he's walking away. At that point in time, people are sure to let them fight to the death. Upgrade to veteran archers. Level 2 farming tech. And the Macedonian player has not researched any farming techs, nor the wheelbarrow. And the wheelbarrow now complete. Remember, the word wheelbarrow does not have an L in it. You got some Rodari now up on the field, which are basically cataphracts with no charge damage. Which is actually not that bad. The thrown axe abilities is a thing they can do. I've rarely ever seen it done, and whenever I do see it, I feel like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Grand Winery appears to be fully saturated. May want to go with some mills along the corners for better drop-offs. We do have, of course, more free crossmen, which is always going to be nice for all these lancers. And it looks like they're being summoned over here. Three crossbowmen every what appears to be 2 minutes. More of 150 seconds, but 2 minutes easy to calculate. Not bad. Got more Radari on the build queue. Sun here has spring golden placement. Collecting up stone. Basic walls. Casual Sacred Site. Speaking about that stuff, relics. Blue's obtained 4 relics. Hot Pink has obtained 1. These units will... There we go. Big round crossbow into the scout. Villagers running up there. Lancers, relatively poor vision was utilized against them, I guess. Do now have the military academy now being researched. Oh, got the throwing axe ability. Does do 15 damage melee at range. Not sure if that was really worth it. I suppose in urbanized terrain it's probably a good idea to pop it, so your units can at least engage. It shows still had the melee weapon, so they may still throw their or use a melee weapon in melee, which would be very nice. So there's no real downside using that ability in urbanized terrain. Try and pick off more villagers. And does use the throwing axe ability there just so they can connect quicker, which is not a bad idea when trying to finish off that wounded unit there. 2 second sites have been obtained. This one is currently protected by the Golden Horn Tower. Golden Tower can be garrisoned with 10 units, and might be able to be garrisoned with more crossbow damage. These crossbows do 32 damage plus 40 for ships, so basically like a French arbalist emplacement. Though not as great, but earlier, much earlier. I can't remember on top of my head if it can or can't get its garrison knows to get it replaced with the crossbows, and if it does do the same damage. Even if it does like regular crossbow damage, that'll still be excellent. This is a large number of Chinese archers. Like I said, one of the rarest units that the Chinese deploy out. Though, as I also said, I think the Fire Lancer right now is the rarest Chinese unit deployed in the field. Of course, excluding the siege tower, because let's face it, siege towers, even when they're useful, are not that useful. I'm trying to think what would be a great way for them to buff a siege tower. Maybe give siege towers a bit of garrison arrows? No. Villagers getting impaled by these Radari. Right now they're at 27 damage. Spearman there. Siege towers do cost 125 wood, 30 seconds opposed to 110, so they do get built pretty quickly. They are relatively cheap. Maybe one thing, the way they could buff the siege tower to make it a bit more usable is make it free in population with a build limit of 10. It might be. Or maybe have 3 siege towers can be built with cost of 0 population, but very vulnerable to melee damage, like battering rams. I'm not sure. Radari does find some villagers there. Good number of archers and crossbow in the back line. Cross them peeling on off to hit the Rodari, very good. Archers engaging archers. We do have a number of the free crossbowmen there. And Cannoneer in place on getting some fire. Rodari's now falling on back. Crossbowmen did their job. Right now the current villager count is 88 versus 91. 31 kills for blue, 15 kills for hot pink. Both players do have a secondary town center. Of course, Song Dynasty will allow the Chinese slowly overtake his opponent. However, they're getting to the point where they will stop building villagers relatively soon, particularly with 2 town centers. Macedonian player right now has 1,800 silvers. Let's see now, Siege Workshop, bring an arsenal, some silver in there. In comparison to silver here, you can see if it were to fully collect up all 1,600, would probably provide around 200 silver per minute. Hard to say. Again, this is 1,600 deposit. That's a 4,000 deposit. Not sure. We do have some rocks being thrown at the Bardic in the sun, and it appears to be pretty effective. Got these units moving around. The Lancers and Horsemen push forward, getting some hits on those villagers. Do have +2 melee damage, melee armor. The villagers gain some damage there. Horsemen and Lancers trying to fall back now. Lancers or Rodari push forward. There's a good number of Chinese archers here. And of course, hand cannoneer emplacements are pretty nice in the key. Picks off another Rodari there. 2 Rodari remaining. You have some stone walls there. You can help protect these farms. Boy, that is... He needs that mill build. That is some poor saturation of mills. He needs a mill here as well. Maybe a mill here. I was gonna say he could build some stone towers, but you have a great gatehouse being right here, and actually being part of the formation of the walls, not some sort of tank traps version of it. We have a good number of siege weapons here. 2 mangonels. And 3 spring golds. There's a 3rd mangonel here. Bardic and Sun going on down. Ooh! I forgot about the landmark upgrade, which gave all those guys silver. Oh boy. Yeah, actually going for the Bardic and Sun right there probably was not a great idea. Now thinking about it, that was a lot of silver. I did not count how much that number went up, but I'm guessing it went up a lot. Probably went up as quickly as the death count when a socialist government takes power. Ooh! Right now, 1800 did not pay attention to the moment before. And that was just a regular town center. Huh, that upgrade also affects town centers. He's getting good amounts of silver here. Foreign engineering company, foreign Palatine school. Which gives him access to cataphracts of silver, right? Don't even. Oh yeah, I think both the final upgrades or final landmarks for the Macedonians is not that great because you want to focus all your silver on these unique upgrades rather than getting some variation units. There goes the capital. That's just a monastery. Tithe barn just got completed. No relics are located inside of it. Macedonian players getting a lot of good work done. Currently cut off 3 out of 5 landmarks. The Great Gatehouse is well in the back. The other one is, of course, located right there. Astronomical clock tower being reached by the Chinese players, which would give him access to Yuan Dynasty. He has one for pyrotechnics. He has access to hand cannoneers now, which he's building some. Has some palace guards, going for large number of horsemen and spearmen. He's fighting decent siege army, which these archers are going to have a bit of trouble for. And I mentioned the hand cannoneers versus all those Mangonels. This one has a good number of archers as well, which of course do counter and light gunpowder units, but luckily those hand cannoneers with pyrotechnics have more range as archers at the moment. Do actually have some cataphracts, elite cataphracts now being summoned. He does have level 4 cavalry armor, so they have +4/+4 armor, not to mention extra 20% health, which is very nice. Macedonian cataphracts 4, that's elite Erdari, right now 32 damage, 99 armor. Cataphract right now has 32 damage, 99 armor. Melee infantry, I guess he doesn't have any cavalry damage right now, does he? Cataphracts trampling the way forward, the middle formation. We got horsemen, spearmen are engaged, crossbow and point blank range as well. Now elite Radari does have 32 damage, so 1.3 attack speed. Cataphract has the same attack speed of 32 damage. So they effectively have the same damage, same armor. Of course, have the trample ability, no rune stones, but also a lot more health. Right now they're at 486, very healthy. Radari right now is at 324. Yeah, Radari are just, they're cheaper but lower health cataphracts, which is still pretty nice, with no charge ability. Throwing axes can be useful, but I don't know how useful. +1 cavalry damage now research. We do have level 3 farming, accumulations, and ancient techniques. A lot of economic text there for the Chinese player. Going for some more gold mines here. Cataphracts roaming about. A lot of forward infrastructure here for Hot Pink. Going for some of his own hand cannoneers. Oh, builds a big line of walls here, but the cataphract has escaped on through. These villagers, of course, with the Yuan Dynasty can move faster, which actually does improve the economy with the farms, primarily. Villagers going to be shanking that cataphract, but that's not going to go too well, honestly. Tramples a little bit there. Horseman pushing forward, 13 damage, which is better, which can pierce the armor a little bit better. Villagers go down there. We've got 116, 111 villagers. When it comes to army value, we do have 15,000 versus 13,000, so Hot Pink has more army. Let's see what's this here. Spring golds gain plus 15% attack speed and engulf their projectiles fire, creating a path of Greek fire after impact. I'm not so sure. I don't think I've ever seen this upgrade yet. Let's take a look at it. I know Greek fire effects in the Creo stuff was largely nerfed. I wonder if it does that same amount of damage. Which, deploying if active against armies may not be half bad. Horsemen pushing around the flanks. Right now, the Macedonian army is being reinforced with vanguard. That's a good number of spearmen, good number of hand cannoneers, and cataphracts, Radari. So he has heavy infantry, heavy cavalry, light infantry, and gunpowder. And it's still good number of archers. He has a pretty good mix of units. And of course, free crossbow. Has not researched the elite crossbow, but that's generally fine. Though he has enough gold for it at least. Villagers being pursued once again. Try and build a lumber camp. Hand cannoneers. If they increase movement speed and certain gunpowder, they can really be agile. Blue's hand cannoneers should be very, very good to micro. We do now have bombards being overran by the horsemen. Very good counterattack there by the Chinese player. The Chinese player still feels like he's on the back foot. He lost more than half map control. There's the fire effect. Let's see. It seems like it does better damage than poison arrows, which is nice and more readily able to be deployed on the map. So it's a good upgrade, I would say, at least preliminary. Can't say how effective it would be versus all those units. Wait, was it? I thought it was the. Does a bombard also do that? Nope, it's just the spring golds. The increased attack speed, however, does go quite well with that as well. Get a pretty nice attack speed upgrade, which brings stronghold. Where's the siege workshop? The Palpatine school. So I want to take a look at the siege workshop. Was that an upgrade? Nope. Rolling shutters is still available. Let's see what else is here. Greek fire projectiles, kind of with trebuchets, increased damage and more Greek fire. Siege unit deal additional 10% damage for every 10 seconds they're set up to do a maximum plus 50% damage. So if they don't move around, they do more damage. 1,000 silver? That sounds really good, but also immobile. For 1,000 silver, that's probably not worth when we got all the blacksmith upgrades you still need to go for. In comparison to, say, Streltsys emplacement, that's just a free pass effect that you on a unit you will spam out either way. In this case, it sounds pretty good, but honestly, not super feasible. And we may see another cash bounty. Let's see. Gets another 1,100 silver there. Chinese player has a good number of hand cannoneers, 40 of them on the field, with another 30 junk spear in the front line, a handful of horsemen for flanking those siege weapons. Looks like got a good number of those siege weapons. When it comes to destroyed value, blue is destroyed 61,000, 62,000 versus 50,000, so he has a severe advantage there. But of course, when it comes to resource collected, got 14 versus 13, so he's down about 15,000 there. I mean 147 versus 133. Army value wise, he has 12,000 versus 15,000, so blue has a higher value army as well. Oh wait, blue has higher collected. So overall, blue seems like he has an advantage, but feels like he's also losing. Probably because he lost quite a bit of feud control. This one has a good amount of defensive placement through the keeps and the Varangian strongholds. Those keepers taking some holes. Cataphract's being pursued there a little bit. Bombard here. It is a clock tower bombard. Keep trying to be repaired on up, but the bombard should be able to finish it off. Horsemen and spearmen push way forward. There are some villagers here. What's this upgrade? Firing arsenals can craft more lethal arrows, calling units hit by the archer to have their damage reduced by 20%. He doesn't have too many archers left in the field, so not super important. Now the horsemen push away forward. Relic picked up from the monastery. Try and go for a wall. Looks like that's his only relic. Bombard seeing the capital once again. It's probably like the third time the capital has gone down. Horsemen, however, flanking, going to hit those bombards relatively soon. And then smash and hit the range units. They're very nice, so the capital may actually be saved. Capital's actually not fully built, so probably can't be destroyed again for a cash bounty. Bombard goes down there. Chinese hand cannoneers, of course, are very excellent in large numbers like this, thanks to the extra range. And now with the extra speed, they can be very nice as well. I always forget what Ming Dynasty provides. Is it damage or health for Chinese? I just can't remember. It also applies to only unique units, right? Not to all units, unless I'm mistaken. So maybe saying Yun Dynasty would be best. Not like... Yeah, I don't think Grenadiers would be super useful as well. More hand cannoneers, more spearmen, more horsemen on the build queue. Handful of villagers going down. Rodari is trying to engage these villagers or horsemen now. Cannoneers, pretty good firing line there. Horsemen just, of course, running around. Chinese players trying to slowly get a grasp back in the game. There's still gold on the field from the claim. Got the stone. Village is a little bit exposed. Could go for another gate right there. I think a gate right there would be a little bit safer. Just a closer exit to run away from. Or two. Cataphracts looks like charge straight into the gate. Can't charge through the gate or trample through the gate. And cannoneers firing away. Bringing guard, berserking the way forward. As these units being pursued up here, I think bombards are striking that keep now. He is trying to slowly repair up the Imperial Palace, which does give him a lighthouse, which I would be hesitant of having him repair it up for another raid target. Definitely don't repair the Bardic in the Sun; it won't have enough durability. But the Imperial Palace does have as a lighthouse, so that would be very useful. Not to mention able to raid villagers a bit more easily, such as these ones way off in the corner. Cannoneers firing away. Villagers backing on, or not villagers, hand cannons trying backing off, but they're basically going single file, or dual file. And they're slowly getting filed down at the rear. Hand cannoneers taking out some of those Rodari there. Looks like there's still only 4 cataphracts, not putting too many more cataphracts at the moment. Has been silver. More blacksmith attacks probably would be a good idea. Both sides still a good number of hand cannoneers. Maybe some nested bees wouldn't be half bad. We do have now the elite crossbowman for the Macedonians. Might as well get that to upgrade these free crossbowmen. And we do have one fire lancer on the build queue. Rodari or cataphracts taking some shots there. Good marker there by blue. Right now has a destroyed value of 112 versus 90, so it has a pretty good destroyed value advantage. Collected value is still only slightly in favor of blue. Destroyed value at this point in time is a bit important. Archer is now charging way forward. He does have some rune stones available if needed. Spring gold emplacement or spring gold gun. Or not gun. Artillery? Siege weapon firing away. Chinese player right now, not at pop cap. Blue is. Armor value wise is favor blue, even though he's nowhere near pop cap, because he's just going straight super high quality hand cannoneers. Wait, I thought the Macedonian did research the wheelbarrow. Guess it must be bugged, but it doesn't actually show up here. Yeah, I could have sworn we saw that got upgraded in front of us. Yeah, don't see it there, so. Was the capital maybe going down again and this time is fully rebuilt? That's a lot of range units, so the capital's slowly going down. Let's got another runestone. Looks like the runestone actually never got completed, isn't it? I see a build progress bar, but it's incomplete. The capital is slowly going down. And of course, if it gets burnt down, it will deny a large amount of the raid. Looks like that raid wasn't too great. Sort of weird things like let your capital burn down to deny the pillaging. Hand cannoneers firing away on both sides. The Chinese one has 50 on the field versus 17. Awesome spear and push way forward. The Chinese player right now is pretty low in resources. Basically a Age of Empires 3 Italian mix of resources. 500 of each with a good amount of stone in reserve. Macedonian player has a massive stockpile of food and gold with some wood to work with. More wood than Chinese player. Macedonian players having trouble re-maxing, go for more spearmen. Right now, all he needs just more mangonels against all these hand cannoneers. Chinese player still with the Mongol Yuan Dynasty. Not worth it going up to Ming Dynasty as I mentioned. got a Macedonian placement. Macedonian placement here is affected by the range upgrade, so it has +4, so it is very good. Better than that what the Byzantines can blow on the field. The Palpatine school is slowly being gunned on down. Guess you need some more power to take it down. Though with this many hand cannoneers, that's basically unlimited power. Though some of these units have pulled back a bit flawlessly. Nope, didn't fire off there, I believe. You do have a bit of a wind-up. More cataphracts being summoned, large numbers of cataphracts. Right now, some more horse armor may be nice to help resist all damage, both with armor and just sheer health. He has a good, and then Paul go for a good number of horsemen. He's going for a good number of hand cannoneers. One thing, oh no, he can't. But can he get silk bowstrings, Macedonians? A lot of university techs are just simply not available. I can't remember if he can or can't. Oh yeah, he just can't get a university. And I don't think there's a way for him to increase the range of his archers, is there then? Yep. So these guys have, this unique archer has no way of increasing their range, which actually is a bit of a problem. Because he would have got silk bowstrings, he would be able to outrange the hand cannoneers and get some good bonus damage going, be a bit more cost effective. Assuming not the case, no, he has the wood for it. Either way, he is scraping on the barrel of wood, or should I say, he's dismantling the barrel for wood. Another Macedonian placement. More cataphracts being summoned. Horsemen trying to find some more villagers. Oh, those villagers being picked on off. He has plenty of food to replace them. Right now, it's not as food comes to issue, it's the other income sources. There is a trade post here, so you could try to establish a good trade. Wait, will he get silver or gold from trade? My apologies, don't know that top of my head. He has lost some of these mining camps here. You can see the pile of silver lying on the ground. The Chinese player has recovered a decent amount of, or sort of quite a bit of income, has maxed out army size with 57 hand cannoneers, a usable number of spear in the front line, only 2 horsemen, 2 Macedonians point forward, we've got the cataphracts trampling their way forward. Need some decent damage there. Macedonians seeing some of the frontline units. Right now, I don't know who will win this game. It feels like the Macedonian economy is in a quite bad state at the moment, but he also is doing quite well on the army side. These villagers trying to prep these bombards. Chinese horsemen are having trouble engaging those mangonels. And Canadians push forward, takes out a mangonel. Rune stone has been established. This rune stone here has not gone down. Instance, of course, are invulnerable, so that one just needs to be continued being built. Canceling it may refund a point. I'm not sure. Enhanced range and range opens by 1 tile. That's very nice. That's where you get some range to help deal with all these hand cannoneers. Chinese hand cannoneers are cresting the hill. Bombard straightforward. Couple horsemen here. He has the Golden Horn Tower here. If it's better to garrison some of these units inside of it and increase the number of crossbow, probably would be a good idea. Looks like they do 14 damage on the... No, wait. That's a different arrow damage. Somehow it got +1 arrow with nothing inside of it. How? I'm not sure. More crossbow being pulled in the field. The Macedonian player starting to get overrun, has down to below 100 villagers. There are still 29 Chinese hand cannoneers in the field. The Macedonian player still has 14. Another Maginot on the field. Bombard striking the Maginot. Magenta right now has an army of 36 versus 70, so the Macedonian player just make it overran. Cataphracts trampling the way forward. Horsemen charging the way forward. The Chinese player has no income reserve. The Macedonian player has no gold left. Not much wood either. Maybe want to sell off 1,000 food, maybe 2,000 food. He has more cataphracts in the build queue, which that's his only source of money right now, was the silver he has stored up trying to build these units. Look at that. That's a lot of units there. Probably wouldn't have been wise to invest those in some upgrades, because it's not like he can do anything else with it. He's probably get torch run down. He has now a pile of silver, but no real way to spend it quickly. Just start going for Iranian upgrades. Right now they'll get level 5 range. Costs 3,200, which is quite expensive. Horsemen charging way up north. There's a sacred site there from decaptured. That's about it. Wooden bowls from the torch on down. Villagers here migrating towards something. I guess this wood. Horsemen gonna be trying to torch down this gate. Got a keep here. Looks like losing versus the bombard emplacement. Transplanter trying to rebuild some forces, but he's out of gold and wood, and not too great in food. Both players similar collected amount, but destroyed value got 190 versus 160. Army value got 15,000 for blue, 12,000 for hot pink. Incendiary arrows being researched by the Chinese player. Not sure why. I don't think he even has veteran Zunshus. Oh no, he has elite Zunshus that are being researched and deployed out now. Against all his opponent's light units, that wouldn't be half bad. But then again, they can have extra high armor, so these guys are actually not super great. Yeah, it may not be a good idea to go for Zuntrews against the Macedonians. Right now, these guys are at 15 damage. Not 15 damage, 11 damage. And right now, the Spearmen do have 4 armor, so they will resist decent on damage, but not a lot. The Macedonian players are starting to counterattack. Looks like the Bardic of the Sun try to be rebuilt. The Palpatine School is being rebuilt. Imperial Palace starting to get torched on down. Magneto is trying to hit these hand cannoneers. Get some of them down. Horsemen push on the flank. And there's a big torch there. Up to 6,200 silver. Go ahead and go for more cataphracts. Good stoning there, a good number of hand cannoneers. Right now the Chinese player, he has some gold to work with. The Macedonian player is out of gold, has plenty of food and wood to work with, so only has trash units. Magnetos pushing forward. Plus cataphracts would be the only way you can get some premium units on the field. Force down some of these outlying walls. Zuntrews push right forward. Seeing all the Zuntrews, it should cue him, tell him that he needs to go for some more range armor. Of course, he has to research armor individually for range, melee, and cavalry. Something we already do get stuck there. We're at the 1 hour minute mark of the replay. More forces streaming on in. Magneto finds a bit of splash hit there. Spearman push way forward. Horseman trying to flank around. You have a large number of ranking strongholds being established here. Magneto seeing these various range units here. Capital firing his course's hand cannoneer slit. Horsemen find some units, but they're getting picked apart. Looks like the Chinese players starting to run out of steam now. As more spearmen, more horsemen, another Zuntrew on the build queue. And the capital's starting going down. This game was a pretty good back and forth, but I think the Macedonian player is pulling out a victory. Chinese players can just trade some structures for a bit of time. The Great Gatehouse is the last structure back there, but if he loses everything in between it, he's already lost the game. I wonder if he had any pagodas. Yep, we do have some pagodas back here, providing X amount of resources. Horseman coming around for a big flank. Zuntrews focus down these Mangonels. Horsemen hitting these units back line. More a bit of everything being deployed by the Macedonian player. The Chinese player is trying to go for more of everything as well. But things are starting to just get torched down entirely. Yep, I think it's a game over for the Chinese player. One thing I'd say the Macedonian player really should do is get... He has a lot of silver sorting up. He's been going for cataphracts, but he could have gone for even more upgrades. Granted, how much does the final range damage upgrade cost? There's an arsenal. Last range costs 4,200. And that is the end of the replay. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.